Caitlin Collins has been a part of the problem for a long time. She has political blood on her hands. Watch this MAGA warrior destroy her. You guys gotta check this video out.
President Trump to select him as his vice presidential candidate in 2024. I'm joined now by Oklahoma Senator Markwayne Mullin. And Senator, you were friends with Charlie Kirk.
Yeah.
And let me just first say I'm so sorry for today. I know how shaken everyone is by what happened to him. How would you describe Charlie Kirk to someone who had not met him and didn't know him?
You know, I try not to get emotional on that stuff, so I'll be as good as I can on this. You know, Charlie was a guy that broke all norms when it comes to political interaction, and he was an unapologetic Christian, and he was an unapologetic proponent for traditional values, and he could debate anybody. I mean, he think about this. When he first came on the scene, he wasn't running for office. He wasn't even looking to run for office. He had no aspiration to ever seek an office. He was there to inform people, to debate people on their issues, and interact without anger, without being condescending, without even showing a disdain. He would simply just debate people with opposite views. And you know what he did? He took it to campuses in a time that there was no politician going to campuses. He would take it to the campuses and just sit there and just debate with small crowds, one-on-one. And after a while, the crowd started growing, and you started seeing the campuses change.
And I don't know this unpopular opinion, guys. I don't mean to pause it so early, but I don't think we need gun control. I think we need control of this lying, spewing propaganda media that they push out. You're about to notice what Caitlin Collins does here, and Markwayne catches it right when she does it.
And his supporters were driving hundreds of miles to come out to watch him interact with individuals, and he always did it in a loving way. I mean, you can disagree with his views, but you can go back and watch any aspect of it, and he always had a historical backing to what he would say, regardless if it had to do with the Constitution or our founding fathers' writings.
I mean, he would even debate with you.
Oh, yeah, or political.
It wasn't just with liberals.
Yeah, but with me, he was as passionate. Kellen, he was as passionate in his debate with me on Republicans' direction in the Senate as he would be if he was debating somebody in front of 4,000 people. He was just a passionate individual, and he cared. He truly cared, and he loved this country so much, and he truly loved people too. He would talk about the people he'd interact with sometimes that adamantly disagreed with him, and they would circle back and have conversations later on, and he would be able to share the love of Jesus Christ with them.
Yep.
And that was his passion as much as anybody.
How did y'all two meet and become friends?
You know, the first time we started talking was in my Senate race. There was he wanted to visit with me, and so we just talked. We had conversations. I wouldn't consider us friends at that time. And then during the presidential race of last year, we just spent a lot of time together. And then at the RNC, we really went to a different level. And then we got to the point where we talked all the time, and he texted a lot. And we would go back and forth. He'd have answers. Sometimes his text would be a little lengthy, and I don't text paragraphs. So I would just pick up the phone and say, hey, what's going on? And then during the NOMS process, we were talking constantly on those that he was very passionate about. And that friendship turned into a friendship with my family. You know, he became friends with my kids. He went to Oklahoma State, where I got 2 kids that go, and got there early just to spend time with my kids. I wasn't even there. I was here, and he just spent. And he called me, and he's like, man, you got great kids. And my kids were able to show him around the wrestling locker room at Oklahoma State, and some of get him out on the football field, and he just thought that was great. But that was a side that people didn't see. And Caitlin, what's frustrating about this whole thing is here you have a guy that he wasn't a politician. You can say he was controversial or not, but I don't know why he would be controversial, because we all have a right to our views. He was adamantly allowing people to exercise the First Amendment, which is a freedom of speech. And he would go there and just simply give a voice, give an opportunity for those that have an opposite view of him to state their position. in a safe environment. Why is that a threat to somebody?
Well,
Why
it
is it
should
a
have been a
threat?
safe
Yeah, it
environment.
should be a safe environment, but he provided a safe environment for his guest. Why would it be a threat to anybody? Why would because of his Christian values? Why would it be because of his
What is it that you guys think? Because I think a line has been crossed. We will never be the same from this. With the assassination of Charlie Kirk, drastic change is coming, right? People of all ages are devastated, right? They're furious that this happened. I think right now it's either you pick a side, good or evil. Literally, pick a side. Please leave a comment down below. I really want to know.
his political views? Why was that such a threat to somebody that they felt like they needed to silence him? He wasn't making laws.
Nope.
He wasn't even able to change the Constitution.
Well, I mean, and that's why we have so many questions about this shooter and where they are and
Right.
where this investigation goes. But I mean, I talked to a lot of people in the West Wing today who were talking about what Charlie Kirk meant for MAGA and for the movement, but also so many of them said, it wasn't just that. He was also their friend. And I just can't imagine how hard today is for people
It
like
is-
you who are friends with him.
It is. It's a disbelief. As I was said, I think before we got on the show, is that I've dealt with a lot of death in my life. This one hurts. I actually called my wife, and she's at the Mayo Clinic with my son right now, and I said, "This hurts." I mean, like this. This hurts because it was so senseless. It was just because someone disagreed with him politically. And I've had heated debates. We've had some heated debates. But that's just because we have the right to disagree or agree, and we live in the greatest country in the world. But to resort to this, I don't mean to make this political at all, but I feel like the Christian values and Christians are under attack because the same people that said that they feel threatened by traditional values, by Christian values, are now the same people that seem like they're attacking those that they
Yeah.
disagree with
Yeah.
politically and religiously. And once again, I just use this for example for the last two horrific cases, but you don't see Christians going out there shooting up churches and schools and trying to assassinate political enemies. There was no
Yeah.
assassination attempt on President Obama or President Biden. There was no assassination attempt on any of our Democrat colleagues. And
Well,
and I'm not saying it hasn't happened. I'm just saying like
right, 'cause some
in
people are
this
gonna
in
hear
this
that.
environment. In
Some
this
people are going
environment.
to hear that and say, well, look at what happened in Minnesota last year where Democratic lawmakers were shot, or
Right.
what happened to Nancy Pelosi's husband. I mean, it's unacceptable, obviously,
Yeah.
coming from anywhere. But I think with Charlie Kirk, he was just 31 years old. Like the idea that he's been,
A husband, a father.
yeah, to two young children and has been in this world, building this since he was 18 years old. I mean, he
Right.
was a child, basically, when he got started with this, just such a young
And the
adult.
impact he's had in the political environment because of it. Because
Senator.
his true drive to do it. And again, I know we're short on time, but we all hold a responsibility to this. Republicans, Democrats, news outlets to the left and to the right. We in this country have faced some very difficult times. And every time we've been at our worst, we've been able to hit a reset button and recover. And I hope, be it the rhetoric on the right and the left, that we can reset out of this. If Charlie does anything, if Charlie did anything, he showed true love. He loved the country. He loved everybody he came in contact with. He truly embedded the Christian values into his walk every single day. And if he's done anything for this country, hopefully we can all sit down and say, hey, it's time to take a deep breath
Yeah.
and embrace what we have in this country, but not resort to where it's went. The temperature needs to be brought down in the political environment, and this is a good opportunity to do that.
Yeah, I think everyone can agree with that message. Senator, thank you again, and I'm truly so sorry for.
The left think they silenced Charlie Kirk, but his voice is louder now than ever. I see countless things on my Facebook, people posting about it, a lot of negative stuff going on. But I think what we need to take from this is this guy was a family man, he was a father, and he had Christian values. And he spoke the truth a lot of the times. He just loved the good debate. Let me know what you guys think about the quick video. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe if you're new, and as always, let me know what you react to. We're out.